Hey guys, it is 101R Smith. I'm back, not with a guitar, but a Gunpla review. And today we are taking a look at the real grade Gundam Epyon from Gundam Wing. I'm so happy with this kit. I've been so happy with real grade so far ever since they moved away from the pre-molded inner frames. The releases have just gotten better and better and better. Force Impulse was awesome. Wing Gundam was amazing. God Gundam, Burning Gundam was excellent with its posability. And now Bandai has decided to do one of my favorite suits from my favorite Gundam show, Gundam Epyon. And I'm interested in it, A, because it's Gundam Epyon. It's a physical manifestation of the chivalry and excellency Tres Cushionata. But also, I like the aesthetic that they chose here. Often, in very recent memory, a lot of the Bandai art and assets when they use to show off Epyon use the design that Hajime Katoki came up for the manga Gundam Wing Endless Waltz Glory of the Losers. This one decided to take a happy medium and combine the best aspects of the TV show, the Okawara design, and the Hajime Katoki design for Glory of the Losers. And I gotta say, the marriage has been immaculate. I'm so happy at how it looks. But you can only judge something so much based on promo art. It looks great, but you gotta see it up and close. Also, after getting Wing Gundam, I knew that they couldn't just decide to leave Epyon just for P Bandai on a high grade release. And I'm happy it's getting a more royal and a more presentable update of a regular Bandai release in real grade. Hopefully one day, I like to cross my fingers and hope that the Wing Zero TV version can get an RG treatment, because Wing Gundam Zero Custom or Wing Gundam Zero EW was 10 years ago, and the design aspects were cool, but we could do a lot better now. So that's about future and speculation. Why don't we open up the box and see what we have here? We open up the box, put it together, and here is Gundam Epyon in all of its glorious glory with a great design. I love the wings here. It's a beautiful marriage between the more cartoony kind of like Galvatron wings that it had, but also the more design subtleties of the Hajime Katoki on the Master Grade and Glory of the Losers. It uses a two-tone red, so you got more like a pale red and a maroon red, one shade of yellow, one shade of white, and one shade of navy blue, and it comes together to make Gundam Epyon one of the more imposing figures in your collection. The other interesting aspect is they decided to not keep it proportionally. What I mean is, usually when they do real grades in Gundam in general, they try to scale it to its actual TV size, and as we all know, the Gundams in Gundam Wing are much smaller because it was the 90s and they're trying to save plastic than their early 80s and even 2000s counterpart. Instead, what they did here was decide to actually make it a bit taller, which it does take it out of proportional range of maybe the high grades, but I think it was a design choice that was really beholden of what it can do. I'll take the slightly off accuracy of the anime, put it together into one imposing aesthetic. But while it looks good, let's see how it poses. As we always do, we start with the head. The head is on a double wall joint and can move 360, absolutely no problem. It works for you very well. The shoulders have a hinge mechanism, but you can also move out the arms and go 360 degrees. The wings will work on you, no problem. Arm, you're going to get a swivel on the bicep and on the shoulder joint as well. You're going to get the typical double jointed knee. Hands are changeable, and they're going to be able to have some ball caps and move back and forth. Waist, surprisingly for the wingspan and what it has to maneuver, can move pretty well, though it has a tendency to pop out from time to time. Legs can go outward very well. It has like a two-joint mechanism in it with the hinge in the hips as well as the joint itself, so if you're working with it, you have a lot of patience to work with and you have a lot of wiggle room. you're gonna get the typical double jointed knee, and the cool thing is some of the inner frame is actually white, so you get to see some of it pick out and work with the frame of the kit more than what you would have seen in the master grade. The toes, due to the transformation gimmick, go out very far. You're going to get a lot of mobility with the feet, and the toes can point very down. Not a lot of up, but you can work with what you have here. And of course, the wingspan can move up, down, and they do add rotation that wasn't quite in the master grade. Overall, posability on this thing is excellent. It does have some issues. It can be back heavy at times, but if you work with the wings and feet, you can probably get Epyon to stand up. Though it's going to excel more on an action base, as any Gundam Wing kit will do. Accessories. Not a lot, because the Epyon is an extension of Triss Kazunada, and he chose to not use any weapons because he liked the honor of actual battling. So you're not going to get a lot here. You're going to get the beam sword, and might I add that the wire here is not the original. Somehow I lost it and I had to buy and makeshift my own here. But it's going to attach to the side skirt and connect with the hands. You're going to use a specific type of holding hands for if you want to do one-handed or two-handed combat. It works really well. The effect on the beam piece is vigorous, bright, edgy, detailed, bright, and overall a lot of fun. It was just so much fun to pose Epyon that I couldn't stop. I kept taking action shots and just wanted to show off how great it is once you get it on an action base. The next, you are going to get the tail whip, which goes in tandem with the Neo bird mode of the Epyon. This was the only pre-made part of the real grade. You're going to cut it out of a tree. It's all interconnected into one piece. Mind you, you should probably stretch it out before you get handsy with it. You don't want to break anything, but once you stretch it out, you get it connected, it moves like a charm. It's stiff, it's strong. There are maybe a few bad nubs on it because of the navy blue, but if you take some time to clean it up, or I don't know if you can paint it, but if you take some time, it can still look great despite how it's designed. And it works in tandem with the beam sword and just Epyon in general. Next, we're going to talk about the transformation into bird mode, because that's really it when it has the Epyon. And transforming it into bird mode was mainly simple, but I'm going to choose to never do this on camera ever again because I almost lost a V-fin. How the transformation works is you're going to unhook a mechanism in the waist to unhook and unlock the legs to push it all the way back into its hind legs. You're going to push that, lock it in, move the wings a bit, and then take out the arms, pull out the fangs, and mount the shield on its back. It's one of the least complicated transformations ever, but the patience you need to make sure that the hips lock into place does take a bit of time. I'd say that Wing Gundam and Wing Zero's transformations were less complicated because you're literally just switching the backpack and the body. I feel Epyon's is a little bit more complicated due to how it's worked. And yes, it is silly looking down rather than up. That's why we're keeping it up. And they did a nice, cool design choice. Instead of just making the sensors on the legs one single piece, they made it into, or shaped it into eyes, so it looks like it has a two-headed dragon, which is edgy as hell, and I love. My final thoughts on the real grade Gundam Epyon. I am giving this thing an S ranking. This is another example of real grade getting better and better with age and also development here. It was a lot of fun. I had fun to build it. I had fun playing with it. I had fun posing it. Once you get it on an action base, the sky's the limit on what you can do. My only limitation is really the box that I'm using to shoot this thing, but that's more on me and not on the kit itself. This was a lot of fun. Real grade has really come a long way than when I entered the scene back in 2014. The only really good kits that were out there that weren't exactly bricks were the Gundam Mark II and the Gundam Exia. I've heard nothing but bad things about nearly every real grade before, like the Astray and the Unicorn Gundam, when they finally moved away from the pre-wired inner frame. And I'm happy. Essentially, it's a more detailed but mini master grade, and I'm happy with that. I wish the master grade would come back to life. I don't see that happening. We're kind of just slim pickings these days, but we're trying to work with what we can. And real grade is where it's at right now, and I'm happy for it. It was a lot of fun to put this together, and it was a lot of fun to review. If you can, go get this. This only cost me about $45-ish at the time. I bought this early this year. It took a while to put together, but we got it together, and I had a lot of fun with this kit. So I suggest that everyone buy this, or if you love where the real grade is going, definitely go check out the Gundam 2.0. That thing should be coming out any week now, at least on the Japan side, and go check it out. So while we're on that note, I am 101 Smith, and I will see you later. Peace.